Well, good morning, all of you wonderful, lovely, amazing people. It is yours truly, Cheryl Eastman, aka the Inspirer. Back at you one more Wednesday for coffee and conversation. So listen, what is my assignment? What is my job? Why do I do this? My job is to inspire. I am AKA the Inspire. To inspire you to do what? To inspire you to be and to do the best that you can do, to be the best that you can be, to not leave anything on the table. Leave nothing on the table. Everything that God put in you from the very foundation of the world, I am here to inspire you to bring it all up, to bring it all out, to inspire you to be the best that you can be. To be the best woman, to be the best man, to be your very best. Because you know why? The world needs it. The world needs you, and the world needs the gifts that you carry. I apologize. I wasn't coughing before I got online, but a little cough going on here. So that is who I am. So thank you so much for joining me here today, either on the live or joining me on the replay Instagram. This is I think it's my first live with you guys. So it is wonderful and awesome to be here. I am the Inspirer. And so listen, this is Coffee and Conversation. This is what I do every Wednesday at 11 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. So if you're in another time zone, it's going to be behind or before, but this is what I do. So this is coffee. I hope you have your cup of coffee and conversation. So I choose these times to talk about specific subjects. Let me tell you who I am. I am a coach. I am a transformational life coach, and with an emphasis on relationships. I talk quite a bit about relationships. I talk about some of the things that hold us back, some of the key things that keep us stuck in our lives. Because, see, listen, and today, as you can see from the title there, I'm talking about the importance of forgiveness. Why is it so important? See, as long as we stay stuck in unforgiveness, as long as we stay stuck in some of the areas of our lives, we won't move forward and we won't be everything that we were created to be. We'll remain in a holding pattern. If I can say it like that, we'll remain in a holding pattern. That's no place to be. As you know, if you've ever been on an airplane or seen an airplane that was in a holding pattern, they could not land. So they were stuck. And what we want to do is sometimes we're stuck in a holding pattern in the reverse. We can't take off. An airplane normally, sometimes they can't take off depending on weather, but we sometimes are stuck in a holding pattern in our lives and we can't take off and be the best that we were designed to be. See, God created us to soar and He created us to fly, just like the eagle above that storm, and not to allow the storms of life to keep us from soaring, but we can actually fly above the storm and go to the heights that we were intended to go to. So anyway, what I'm so glad to be here today. So what I wanted to talk to you today about is the importance of forgiveness. And you guys say you've talked about forgiveness because it's muy importante. It is muy importante to do it. Because if we don't do it, there are some consequences and some repercussions of not forgiving. So it's very important that we do this and that we find a way. And you all know that I'm a God girl. If you don't know, now you know. And with His help, we can jump over that hurdle that we call unforgiveness and then flip that to forgiveness. So listen, today I want to talk about the five. I won't be long, as I say, but I will be strong. I want to talk about the 5 benefits that we receive only when we forgive others. These are benefits that we receive only when we forgive. There's some benefits to doing this. It's not just doing it and we don't benefit from it, but there will be benefits from us forgiving. Benefits. So listen, I wanted to use a scripture in the Bible that talked about this. Matthew 18 and 22. It says, listen to this. Jesus answered, I tell you, not 7 times, but 70 times 7. This is talking about forgiving. And the disciples before this had asked, how many times should I forgive? How many times am I supposed to forgive this situation or forgive this person? And Jesus came back and said, not 7 times, but 70 times 7. What does this mean? What does this mean? Jesus speaks of forgiveness beyond what anyone had ever considered before. Because see, we're limited. We're like, oh, enough is enough. I'm not forgiving you. I'm not forgiving you no more. I'm not dealing with you no more. Enough is enough. But Jesus, he speaks about forgiveness beyond what anyone could even conceive or perceive. Here, he said 70 times 7. Like, what? Am I really? I'm supposed to deal with this person? Forgiving doesn't mean reconciliation. Get my drift. Forgiveness does not mean reconciliation. When you forgive somebody, that doesn't mean that you have to invite them back into the circle. That doesn't mean that. And I think some people, they let that hold them back from forgiving because they feel if I forgive this person, or if I forgive an offense, or if I forgive this, then I've got to welcome them back into my life. I've got to welcome them back into my circle. That's not what that means. It just means that you forgive so that your heart can be free to move forward. You forgive so that you're not stuck in that holding pattern. And as I just talked about, that when we're in that holding pattern, we can't take off. We can't soar. We can't do what we want to do. And so I think sometimes if we would just search our hearts and our minds, we need to see if we've let go of some stuff. Is that why we're not soaring? Is that why we're not sailing? Is that why we're not flying? Because we're holding on to old baggage. We're holding on to old things. So we've got to look at this. Jesus said, he said this. In the commentary, it says, he said, considering something that we've never understood before, we have to understand that forgiveness is a limitless number. In God's eyes, it's a limitless. When he said 70 times 7, that means there's no cutoff point. There's not enough. There's no point that we say, okay, enough is enough. There's no cutoff point. There's no limit. It's limitless. There's a limitless number in how many times we are to forgive. Because if you want to be free, if you want to be whole, if you want to move forward, if you want to do everything that you have been put on the planet to be and to do, you've got to say, okay, I've got to let some stuff go. There's no way I can move. Because see, what happens is when you hold on to stuff, it weighs you down. You can't soar. It weighs you down, which is why a lot of times when you have when the planes can't be too heavy, especially the private planes, because when there's too much baggage on that plane, it's too heavy and it might tilt and it might lean and it might crash. Because there's too much on there. And if you are to soar and not crash, you've got to let you can't take on all of the baggage that you've taken on. And a lot of this is unforgiveness. So I talk about it because it's important. So let's talk about this. The 5 benefits we receive only when we forgive. There's a benefit to this stuff. When you forgive, there's some benefits. So I want to ask you a question from the very beginning. How bad is it to hold a grudge? Let me flip it. Is holding a grudge bad? Yeah, because it hinders you. Holding a grudge is not good because it keeps you down. The other person sometimes is skipping to my loo. And you're the one that is stuck. You're the one that is not going anywhere. So holding a grudge is bad. It is not a good, and I know it's tempting because they hurt you. They disappointed you. They didn't do you right. But holding a grudge gets you nowhere. It gets you nowhere fast. It causes you to be in a certain headspace that is defeative. If I can say that word, a headspace that's defeative. When we're negative and when we hold a grudge, which is negative, it causes us to be in a headspace that keeps us locked in to a place of holding. We don't go anywhere from there. So yes, holding a grudge is bad. See, listen, we tend to think that it's our business. It's my business if I don't forgive. It's my business if I don't forgive someone. If I want to forgive somebody or not, that's my business. Don't worry about my business. But after all, it's just my emotions. But that's not the case. When we don't forgive, it's not just it doesn't, you feel like you're hurting the other person. You're feeling like I'm hurting the other person, but that's not quite the case. That's not quite. While we have a right to our feelings, we do, because the offense happened, the thing happened, whatever it was. And I know it's real. These things that we've dealt with, they're very real. So I'm not trying to minimize, because we've all been through some stuff to where we feel like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not going to forgive them. I'm going to punish them. But in actuality, you're punishing yourself. You are the one that is reaping the whirlwind, not them. They may be reaping it of another sort, but when you hold on to that thing, you're the one. So yeah, we have these emotions. We do. So I'm not trying to minimize what we're feeling. However you feel about that person or that situation, but many factors play a role when we don't forgive. And I think I've talked about this previously in some of my lessons. There are many factors, many things that happen when we don't let go. Number one thing is our health. It's our health. There have been times when I went into the doctor's office. Let me just finish this little thing before I jump ahead of myself. It's our health, which can give us high blood pressure. It can cause upset stomachs, digestive problems. It'll increase your chronic pain. Why am I hurting? Why are my bones hurting? Why is this going on? Why? It increases that. Other effects, these things happen in our lives. I've gone into my doctor's office, and I suffer from hypertension. Unfortunately, I'm trying to get that under control, but I suffer from hypertension, which is high blood pressure. And my doctor will ask me a question. She'll say, well, the first question she'll ask me before she asks me any other questions is, are you stressed about something? What are you stressed about? That is before she even says, what are you eating? What are you not eating? What are you not doing outwardly? She talks about what's going on internally. Internally on the inside of me. Are you stressed? What's going on? Are there emotional challenges that you're going through? And a lot of times we don't realize that when we don't forgive, or when we're holding an offense, or when something is going on in our lives emotionally, it affects our internal organs. It affects us internally. So we've got to find a way. And the way that I'm talking about today is to forgive, is to let the thing go. So it will cause high blood pressure. It'll cause stomach upsets. It'll cause aches and pains in our body. When we don't let go of these things, we will reap it. In the first place we reap it is internally, our emotions. It will affect it'll affect your body. It'll affect your high blood pressure. It'll affect all of these things. And a lot of times we wonder, why am I going through? Why am I dealing with this in this way? Why is this happening? You have to check your emotional thermostat and see where it is. So that's one of the things that we deal with in our lives. There are things that, affect us as we interact with other people. And sometimes it's the forgiveness. If none of this sounds good, and none of it does sound good, it doesn't sound good to have high blood pressure, to have things going on the inside. If none of this sounds good, consider how easy it is to turn things around. And somebody said, easy. It's not easy to forgive. When you let your mind just stay on that, well, they did this and they did that and they did this and this happened and this happened. No, it's not. It's going to be a challenge. But when you realize the benefit, listen, guys, whoever listens to me now or listening to me later, when you realize the benefit of letting this stuff go, it does become easy, because either you want to be whole or not. Either you want to be well or sick. Which one do you want? How do you want to live your life? Do you want to live it whole? Do you want to live it well? Do you want to live above all of this stuff? Well, you have to make a choice there, and that choice is to let go and to forgive. So in that sense, it becomes easy to do it, because I want to be whole. I want to be right. I don't want my life to be in a holding pattern. I talked about that. I don't want my life to be in a holding pattern. So you have to think about how easy it is to turn that around, to turn all of the things that are going on with us emotionally, physically, mentally, psychologically, spiritually. The way you turn this around is to release. You must release. Forgiveness is the bridge. Listen to this, y'all. It's the bridge that takes us from painful events towards growth and betterment. When we let go of bitterness, then we become better. When we let go of the hurt, then we become, see, forgiveness is a bridge that you have to walk across. If you never walk across that bridge, you're never going to get to your destination. You're never going to reach where you want to reach. You've got to walk across the bridge of forgiveness to reach that level in your life, to let go of some of these things that have been holding on to you for a very, 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 very long time. You've got to cross the bridge, and you've got to take courage to do that. You've got to say, listen, I want this. So you cross that bridge that takes us from painful to powerful, from bitter to better. Cross the bridge. If you want the positive, then you've got to cross that bridge. So we have to consider these benefits. Here are the benefits. We restore self-worth. Even when we've been wronged, we have a tendency to feel like it's our fault. We have a tendency to feel like we had something to do with the situation. So whether that's true or not, forgiveness lets us let go, and it releases us to let go of the hurt and the offenses. Forgiveness causes us to release. So a lot of times we be down on our own selves. We're down on our own selves. Well, if I would have did this, and if they wouldn't have did this, we've got to let all the ifs and the what ifs and the wouldas and the shouldas and the couldas go, and forgive and let the stuff go, because it releases us from self-blame and the hurt. It releases us. And today I'm talking about being released. You know why I'm talking about so strongly being released, and why I talk about it quite often? Is because I see so much potential in so many people, especially my women, my ladies, my beautiful, wonderful, lovely, amazing women. I see so much potential in you. I see so many giftings in you. I see so many qualities in you, but there's some things you're holding on to that you need to let go of. If you don't, you will not reach the level in your life that you are trying to get to. And a lot of you are climbing and trying to climb to that place, but you're trying to climb carrying a bag full of unforgiveness. You got luggage and you're trying to climb. That never works. You cannot climb with baggage. You cannot go to that level with baggage. Let that stuff go. Let the hurt go. Let the bitterness go. Benefit number one, we restore our self-worth. When we let go, we begin to look at ourselves and say, yeah, I'm worthy. This happened, but we restore our self-worth, and we're not down on ourselves all the time. We're not looking at ourselves like, oh, silly me. Oh, stupid me. No. Stop calling no. That's never going to work. We don't call ourselves names. We let the stuff go. Whatever happened. And then we say, okay, I'm going to let it go and move forward. You don't stay there. You don't stay there muddling around and keeping this stuff flipping and flopping around in your mind. You let it go. That's the only way, ladies. That's the only way, whoever is listening to me, ladies or gentlemen, the only way to have your life in the way that you need it to be is to let go. Number two, we stop playing the victim. When we feel the pain again and again, as we relive the betrayal or whatever we went through, we become trapped in that moment. We become trapped because we allow it to roll over. I just said this. We allow it to keep rolling over in our heads. So we remain trapped in that moment. If you're trapped in a moment, how are you going to move to the next thing? If you're trapped in a circumstance or an event that happened, get the word happened, that's past tense. If you're trapped there, how are you going to move into that next level in your life? You cannot, because you're trapped in that holding pattern. So accepting the role of victim, which we've placed upon ourselves, a lot of this stuff we place upon ourselves, woe is me, poor me, woe is me. We place some of this, and I'm putting me into the equation too today. woe is me, poor me, that we put up on ourselves. This is not healthy. It's not healthy because it keeps a cloud over your head. It keeps you in this place that where you'll never go anywhere. As long as you have that, remember that cartoon that I think it was Peanuts or something like that. There was one of the characters that had a cloud over their head all the time. All the time, everywhere they went, the cloud followed them. There was something going on. And if that cloud is going to lift off of you, we have to let this stuff go. This is not healthy, especially since it takes away any responsibility of having any power or control over your life. Forgiveness, listen to this, reverses this. Forgiveness reverses this, giving control back to where it belongs, you and I. When we don't let go, we give forgiveness or unforgiveness control. We give, the betrayal, whatever happened to us, we give that control over our lives. But when we let that stuff go, we take back control. And the control goes back to where it belongs, which is you. You're the one that has been designed to have control over your own life. You need control over your own life. When we allow people, places, and things to control our lives, we'll never go to where we have been designed. So today what I'm talking about is the benefits of forgiving, the benefits of forgiveness, the benefits of letting go. There are benefits that we can experience if we would so choose. If we would so choose to let go, there are some benefits so the number one was we restore our self-worth. That's a benefit. Number two, we stop being the victim. That's a benefit. And we take back control. That thing that has been heavy on us, that thing that we've allowed to control our lives for God knows how long, we take back that control and we say, no, it's not going down like that. It's not going to happen like that because I'm going to take control. I'm going to do what is needful for me to do. I'm going to do what it's necessary for me to do. And I'm going to forgive so that I can let go of the bitterness and be better. Remember that bridge I just talked about? Let go. If you want to go to that next place, you got to cross that bridge. You got to cross. You can't stay on this side of the bridge looking across and then expect things to happen. You got to cross the bridge, do what is needful, do what is necessary. Number three, start to grow. This is a benefit. Forgiveness moves you forward. Now, I want you guys to remember these points because they're vitally important. Forgiveness moves you forward, past the event. See, when you don't forgive, you stay there in your mind, in your heart, in your emotions. But forgiveness moves you past the event. It moves you forward and into the future. And I know those that are listening to me now, you're ready to go to the future. You've been here long enough. As the children of Israel, the word of God says you crossed this mountain. You've been on this mountain long enough. So you're ready to go into the future. So instead of being stuck in the past, you can now look forward to making new goals, goals and plans. Make some new plans, you guys. Make some new goals. Scrap everything else that happened. It happened. Scrap that and get your charts out. Get your paper, get your pencil, get everything out and make some new goals for your life. Because when you forgive, you start to grow. And when you grow, you can go. Did you hear what I just said? When you grow, you can go. It's when you stay stagnant, you can't go nowhere. So when the benefit of forgiving is this is point number 3. You can grow, make new plans, and do what you need to do to carry those plans out. Do what you need to do. And the number one thing that we're talking about here today is what? Forgiveness. That's what you need to do to be able to carry those plans out. Because as long as you have that knapsack on your back of unforgiveness, it's going to weigh you down. It's going to keep you down. So you have to do what you need to do to carry out your plans, to carry out your goals, to carry out your future. There's a future that is waiting for you. There are things that are waiting on you. You aren't just waiting on some things, but there are some things that are actually literally waiting on you to get yourself together, to get yourself right. And when you get yourself together, those things are going to do an applause and they're going to be like, yes, she's ready. Yes, he's ready. Here they come. Here they come. Here come the new. Here come the new things. So point number three, we start to grow. Point number four, we protect our health. And I talked about that earlier. Are you not sick of headaches? Are you not sick of backaches? Are you not sick of feeling it when you wake up in the morning, you feel this grogginess? Some of that stuff is emotional baggage. Some of that stuff is emotional baggage. And as we mentioned before, the stress of holding on to a grudge has so many negative outcomes. You cannot imagine. It has negative outcomes regarding physical and mental health. Holding on to that grudge, holding on to that anger, holding on to that frustration, holding on to that thing. It has negative effects that will weigh you down and cause you to be ill when you don't have to be sick. You don't have to be sick. There's a song they used to sing years ago when I was a girl. The Lord delivered me. Why should I be bound? There's deliverance for you. There's healing for you. And this is something that you can do yourself. Let go. You don't need hands laid on you to let go. You don't need nobody prophesying over you to let go. You let go. You let go. You say, okay, enough is enough. I've been here long enough. By letting go, you become calmer. You're not so hyphy. You're not so all over the place. You become calmer. You will notice that your spirit, your heart, your mind, your demeanor, your responses, everything will calm down when you let go. You will be more at peace inside. And when you're more at peace inside, then your surroundings are at peace. Some of the stuff going on is because you're in chaos inside. And that needs to be dealt with. You'll notice the stress hormone in your body will quiet down. You won't be so stressed out. It will quiet down and you will begin to heal. Listen, you guys, it's time to heal. It's time to heal. I'm going to say it one last time. It's time to heal. Nobody wants to walk around with a broken leg for 20 years. You want at some point in time that thing healed. And it's the same thing emotionally. To heal, you've got to let go. You will begin to heal. You will begin to experience peace that starts inside. Peace that passes all understanding, that will guard and come in and guard your heart and your mind and your soul. It will come in and you will experience that things will begin to shift. Things will begin to shift and things will begin to flow. Things that you've been beating on the door for it to flow. Let me in. You've been beating on the door for this stuff to flow. But when you let go of this baggage and when you release the unforgiveness, you will be surprised how quickly, listen, you guys, things will begin to flow. I heard that this morning. You know, I think I was listening to the Christmas song, Let It Snow, Let It Snow, Let It Snow. And then the words begin to transpose in my spirit. Let it flow, let it flow, let it flow. Listen, when we let go of some of these things. Now, let me just put a point here. This is by no means just Christian people here. Because I know there may be others that are non-Christians watching me. This is the same. All of these instructions I'm giving are the same for you. If you want to be the best that you can be, let it go so you can flow. Let it go so it can flow. So that those things that you have been desiring and wanting can begin to flow in and out of your life. There's some things that are inside of you that need to flow out to other people, but until you release it, until you release the pain, until you release the baggage, it's not going to flow. You're going to be, if I can say this, respectfully, you're going to be constipated spiritually. You're going to be constipated emotionally. It's not going to flow out of you in the way that it needs to, in the way that the world needs it to flow from you. There's some things, I just said it, that need to flow from you for other people. Whose stuff are you holding on to because you holding on to your stuff? Whose stuff are you holding on to? Whose peace are you holding on to? Whose deliverance are you holding on to? Because you're so busy holding on to your own stuff that you're holding other people's goods, other people's baggage, other people's gifting, other people's things, because you will not let go of the thing that hurt you, of the thing that set you aside for just a moment. But if you would choose to let go, if you would choose to release your stuff, then God is going to release your stuff. Listen, I'm going to say that again. If you will choose to release your hurt, choose to release your pain, choose to release your baggage, then God is going to release your stuff. Your stuff will be released and it will begin to flow, and it will flow, and it will flow. The last thing here, we become more caring. This is the benefit of forgiveness. We become more caring. While it's never a good thing to be hurt by those we love, it's never a good thing. That never feels good, you guys. And I know you all that are listening to me know that. It never feels good. It never feels good to be hurt by someone you love. There are lessons we can take away from this experience. There's some things we can learn. There's some things there's some good that can come out of the bad, is what I'm saying. There's some good things that we can learn on a bad day. We can learn if we just choose to. The problem is you're not likely to see them if you're caught up in relieving the pain. You're not going to see the good. If you're caught up in the pain and dwelling on the past, you're not going to see the good stuff. If you're caught up in the pain and you keep reliving the past day after day after day after day after day, you're not going to see the good things that can happen in your life, which is why you got to let the stuff go. So you got to let the bad go so you can see the good. You remember that saying that says you can't see the forest for the trees? You got too many trees in front of you to see the beauty of the forest. Too many trees in front of you to see the beauty of the forest. You can't see the forest for the trees of the pain, the trees of the hurt. There's so many trees, so many issues in our lives, but we've got to learn to let go of that. We're not likely to to be relieved from the pain if we're caught up in the past. It takes forgiveness to open your eyes. It takes you for forgiveness. When we forgive, it takes the blinders off of our eyes. Forgiveness opens our eyes. It takes forgiveness. Listen, guys, to open your eyes to what you've gained, even in the bad times, to what you've learned, even in the bad times, to be able to apply this knowledge to your lives. There's some, excuse me, there's some good that can come out of the bad. And that good needs to be applied to your life as lessons learned. Lessons that I've learned that will enhance my life. Lessons that I've learned that will take me to the next level in my life. We learn many lessons that come out of pain. But will you not learn that lesson? Will you not learn that lesson? What is the foremost lesson? One is empathy. We now know what it's like to be let down. You know what it's like to be let down. You now know what it's like to be hurt. You now know what it's like to be disappointed. You know that now because you've been through it. You've dealt with it. You dealt with the disappointment, the hurt, the pain, the stabbing pain. Some of you have had some stabbing pain in your life. You now know what it feels like to be let down, meaning we're less likely to let those around us down. We become more caring because of what we've gone through, because of what we've dealt with, because of the pain and the disappointment and the issues that we've been through. We've been hurt. We've been walked on. We've been talked about. We've been mistreated. We've dealt with all manner of things. But when we choose to let go and forgive, one of the benefits of that is we become more caring. We don't become more angry. We don't become more vindictive. We don't become, worse. But when you really forgive and let go, you become more caring and you have more empathy for people. because of the things that you have gone through in your life, because of the challenges that you have faced in your life. You now can embrace others and say, I know how it is. I understand. But let me tell you how to move forward. To move forward, you got to let go of what's behind you. You've got to let go of what is behind you in order to move into your wonderful, lovely, amazing, powerful, awesome future. Don't hold on to it. Let it go. Let it go so it can flow, flow, flow. If you want your life to flow, if you want those things that you have been wanting to happen for a long time and you haven't seen them, check your emotions. Check your emotions. Check your forgiveness. Check and see if you have and are letting go of that baggage that has hurt you, the person that has hurt you. And as I said earlier, forgiveness does not mean reconciliation. They don't have to come back into your circle. But if you're going to be free, if you're going to be released, you've got to forgive. They don't have to be, they don't have to be your partner no more. But you've got to let that go. If you're going to be free, release people, release anger, release hurt, release pain, release disappointment, release it. And I guarantee you this, I can guarantee you this, that you will see a flow in your life that you've never seen before. You will experience that peace. You will experience yourself growing and going from level to level to level. You'll have a whole new outlook on your life if you would just release other people, release things. Listen, it's yours truly. I'm done. I'm done. I always think I'm going to be 20 minutes. It never happens. But listen, today I talked about those that jumped on, go back and watch the replay. I talked about the 5 benefits we receive only. Now, these benefits are things we receive only when we forgive others, only when we let others off the hook, only. You're not going to get these benefits. You're going to stay in that same place. I'm going to stay in that same place that I'm in. So, benefit number 1, we restore our self-worth. Benefit number 2, we stop being the victim. Woe is me. Benefit number 3, we start to grow. That's a good thing. Benefit number 4, we protect our health. We've suffered in our health because we won't let go. Benefit number 5, we become more caring. Benefits when we let go. When we let go, we can be all that we have been put on the planet to be. And then other people will reap that benefit, which is you. You're the benefit. You are the benefit. Don't you want to go where you need to go? Don't you want to do what you have been designed to do? Aren't you tired of being in that holding pattern? I am. Let's grow so it can flow, flow, and flow. Listen, it's been an honor today to be here before you on Coffee and Conversation. Coffee and Conversation. I hope that you have gotten something from this conversation on today at our Wednesday Coffee and Conversation. I pray that you have. It is my desire to bring things that I believe will be beneficial, not just to be talking, but things that will really help us. And I always put myself in the mix that will help us go from to. Leave this behind and go to the next level in our lives. That's where the blessing is. We got to leave the lowers and go to the higher. So that's my desire when I come on here every Wednesday. It is to bring something that will enhance your life and that will bless your life and that will cause you to be the best that you can be for yourself, for your family, and for others. All right. Listen, it's Cheryl Eastman, AKA. Listen, if you want to get in touch with me, I'm going to put up let's see if I can put up my ticker tape. There is my link tree that is flowing down there, as well as my Cash App that is flowing down there at the bottom of this page. On my link tree, you can go there and see everything I offer. You can see my email and everything that you need is right there. My programs, and if that fails, you can DM me if you have any questions. If you want me to deal with any topic. If you want me to deal with any other topic that I may not have dealt with already, you can DM me at Cheryl Eastman and DM me a topic, something you're wondering about, something you want me to talk about, or something you might have a question about. DM me at Cheryl Eastman, and I will be more than happy to deal with that particular topic or to answer your question, whatever that is. But then, like I said, also here's my Linktree. My Linktree link right here at the bottom, as well as my Cash App. Go to my Linktree, and it has everything about me there, and every link that you might want to contact me. So listen, have a wonder. I won't talk to you until after Christmas. Many of you, some of you I will, but I want you to have a wonderful Christmas and remember the reason for the season. Remember why we celebrate this time of the year. And gifts are wonderful because Jesus was a gift. Gifts are wonderful, and giving but giving love is the whole topic of the season. Give love. Let's give love. As I was talking about, forgive, let go of some things, and let's give love. As the song said, give love on Christmas Day. Give love all year round. But remember the reason for the season, and it's about the love of God. God gave his son so that we can have that right. He sent him down here for you and me. So let's remember that. Let's not leave him out of the season. Let's celebrate him on Sunday, even though Sunday is Christmas, it's Jesus' birthday. So let's celebrate him. All right. I love you all. It's yours truly, Cheryl Eastman, aka The Inspirer. What is my assignment? It is to help you tap into the inner so you can find your winner. She's still there. She's still there. He's still, I'm looking over here. I'm on Instagram as well. Doesn't look like nobody joined me, but that's okay. They will. Listen, I'm assigned to help you tap into your inner so that you can find your winner. The winner, the inner. The winner is there. Everything you need, God has given it to you. There's some things that might be clouding and covering it up, but everything you need to be what God called you to be, it's there. It's there. So listen, I will talk with you all later. Have a phenomenal weekend. As I said, have a very Merry Christmas. I'll be back next Wednesday with Coffee and Conversation. Remember, if you want to contact me, go to you can DM me at Cheryl Eastman, or you can look there on my Linktree and contact me that way as well. I will talk to you all later. It has been an honor and a pleasure, and I will talk with you all later. Take care. Love you guys.